Hey everyone, this is Chris at Realridesharestories. How you doing today? So today we're going to do a Q&A video. I've been getting a lot of questions through email, a few questions and comments below. So I'm going to answer a bunch of them today. If you at any time ever have any questions that you want answered, you can always send me an email or write a comment below. And if I start getting the same types of questions again, I'll do a video like this down the future in a few months probably. So let's get started. And I did write them down, a bunch of them on here, so I'm going to go through them all. I don't know how long it's going to last, but it's probably not too long. But always some good and fun information. You guys asked some good questions, so let's go through. All right. First, what area do you drive in? I'm in Buffalo, New York. I drive mostly in Buffalo, some of the suburbs around Buffalo for the most part. And then every once in a while up to Niagara Falls just because it's so close. It's like a 30-minute drive from downtown Buffalo to Niagara Falls itself. So you get quite a few people going back and forth between. So yeah, I am there. I used to drive in Charlotte, North Carolina. That's where I first started. I was there doing Uber for a little bit when I first started doing it. And then I went to New York City for a little while. They had a lot of restrictions on rideshare driving, basically where you had to be licensed and all that stuff, and cost quite a bit of money. So me driving my vehicle in Manhattan, not a fun thing to do. So luckily it never really went into Manhattan, only in the other boroughs. But yeah, then when I was back in Buffalo, they finally got Uber and Lyft in the area. So I had signed up for Lyft and just changed my city from Uber. And now I drive in the upstate New York area, which is the Buffalo Niagara region. All right. How long have I been a driver? Actually, just surpassed 3 years. Now, I haven't been doing it full 3 years. I've just been doing it, like I said, in Charlotte. And then for about a year and a half, I've been really doing a lot more within Buffalo itself. What do you drive for? I drive both, like I said, Uber and Lyft. Those are both companies that are available within the upstate New York region. No other companies allowed as of yet. I know I've been getting questions on other rideshare platform programs. Once I get some time to research them a little bit more or talk to a couple of people who drive for them solely or a little bit, just to give me some firsthand knowledge, then I will report that to you guys, let you know. But yeah, I drive for Uber and Lyft. What car do I have? I have a Jeep Grand Cherokee. So it's great because within the winters in Buffalo, with the snow we can get, having all-wheel drive, bigger SUV is definitely great. Being that it's a newer car too, it's 2013, so it does have a lot of clearance underneath the snow. Got big tires for any snow, and it's not bad on gas either, which is great. It's a 6-cylinder engine, so it does pretty well. I think I get like 24 miles to the gallon or something like that. So I actually get a pretty decent drive, and with gas prices going down, that's even better. So I can't complain about that. Do you offer amenities? Great question to whoever asked this. The answer will be coming in a video, and it's actually going to be coming, I think, on tomorrow, on Sunday. Is going to be, so check that out. I go into a lot of things with amenities. So if you should offer them, if you should charge for them, if you should even have the option to offer them. I go over a few different options within that as well. So stay tuned for that video, and I'll tell you my opinion on what I have done in the past, what I'm doing now, and kind of what I'm seeing. Next one. What's my longest ride? I had one ride that was an hour and 15 minutes one way. So that was my longest ride one way. And then there was a roundabout, which was from a suburb of Buffalo all the way about an hour away and then back to that same spot. So it was about a 2-hour ride, round trip, which was great because I don't live too far from that spot where I picked up and dropped off. So, being compensated for that entire drive was pretty good. That was a very unique and interesting story as well. Being that it was a full 2 hours, I can't just throw the entire video up. I have to edit through a lot of parts, but it is a very, very unique story on what happened. So one day, very soon, I will have that as a video as well too, which will be uploaded. Do you drive around for your next ride? What I'm assuming is when one ride's done, and if you don't have another ride, do you keep driving around to find the next ride? That's actually a good question. There's from a lot of people I've talked to, as well as some of the forums that I read certain things on, a lot of people will say drive to somewhere else. A lot of people will say stay put and the rides will come. On that, it really depends on your area. So where I am, if I know there's an event going on and I'm close by, I'll drive there because chances are I'm either going to get a ride for that event or close to it. Or if it's an area that I don't really want to be in and I want to go to a different area, then I'll drive. But it really depends. Also, if you're in an outside suburb, so you have the main city itself, then you got the suburbs, and then you start going to the rural areas. If you start going in the rural areas, don't sit there because you'll probably never get a ride. And if you do, it's going to be 20, 30 minutes away. So yeah, I wouldn't recommend doing that. I wouldn't recommend sitting in certain areas. But it's really going to be up to you and what you see. Try both for a little while. Try just sitting somewhere for an entire week. Try driving somewhere for an entire week. See the difference. See if you take more and also do it at the same times. Obviously, it's not going to be the same, but it's going to be at least comparable. So if you're wondering if you should just sit at the ride or not, kind of feel for it, see what's going on around the area, and then again, take it by chance. I kind of do both. I drive more sometimes than not. Side note, track your mileage. That's all I'm going to say with that. Track your mileage. Yeah, that's a good question though. Yeah, I mean during certain times like Friday, Saturday nights, if you're by a bar district or something like that, yeah, you can just pull over for a second and wait because probably chances are you're going to get a ride real quick if you haven't already. The beautiful thing too about Uber and Lyft is how they will you'll get a ride prior to the ride you're currently giving ending, so you can go right from your next ride or right to your next ride immediately, which is a really cool feature. There are some things that need to be improved on that on Lyft's end, but Uber's actually got that pretty squared away so far, at least in my opinion. Let's see what's next. All right, I keep getting rides that are at least 20 minutes away, and when I deny them, I get nasty texts or emails when not accepting rides. I also see my rating go down, but the report itself doesn't reflect it. Do they dock your rating for not accepting rides or at a certain distance? Okay. So that's also a good question. I'm right there with you. If there's a ride that's, 15, 20, my rule is 10 minutes away. Unless there's only two exceptions that I have to that rule is one, if it's on the direction that I want to be going towards. So let's say if I am driving and a ride comes up that's in that direction that I'm actually traveling to, then I might add a few minutes to that 10-minute rule. But if it's out of my direction that I want to be completely, I deny it as well too. Yeah, you're going to get nasty texts and emails. Ignore it, really. Coming to your rating, your driver rating, they say that not accepting rides doesn't reflect your driver rating. I don't necessarily agree with that, because there was a point where I was getting only, 15, 20, 25 minute expected away rides. So I'd have to drive 15 to 25 minutes. And this was not like this was probably a good 3-4 weeks in a row. And I wasn't accepting them. So my acceptance rating was like 20%. And that's when I noticed my driver rating go from, I think it was like 4.94, 4.95 at the time, down to like almost 4.65. So it definitely took a hit. The company itself states that accepting rides or not accepting a ride is not reflective on passenger rating and shouldn't. But I don't necessarily agree with that, because, again, that's kind of the same thing that happened to me. Since that point, I've gotten rides that are much closer. I've also been able to repair that, and I actually just hit a five-star rating again on actually today, which was a pretty cool thing. I did get an email that I was looking at that I did hit 5 stars again. So you can bring your rating back up and bring it back up high. I'm not going to say what company this is for, but I'm sure you who asked this or who drive for that company might know. I'd like to know actually your guys' opinion on that one too. If you've not accepted a bunch of rides, say in a week or something, do you notice that your star rating drops, or do you not notice that at all? Let me know, because I'd really like to know what you think. And that's a freaking awesome question, because I was kind of wondering that myself too. I did read a couple of things on some forums that said it, but who knows? All right, next question. What else do you do? Sorry. What else do you do besides drive, if anything? I do actually a lot of things. I am a business owner. I'm an entrepreneur. I love the fact that there's a lot of different ways to make money. I'm a firm believer in multiple sources of income. So I own a shop. I am a rep for a travel club. I do YouTube channel, which is this, which is a lot of fun. I drive for Uber and Lyft. And I am also doing a podcast, which will be launching this month, actually. In a couple of weeks, we're probably going to be uploading the first one. So that's going to be a lot of fun. And yeah, so I do quite a few things for multiple sources of income. I'm a firm believer in that. And I think it's a great way to build more wealth, to build more freedom, time freedom, where you do a lot of work now and then you can build up things later. So it's definitely good. So yeah, I am a busy. So that's why sometimes editing videos, that takes a lot of time, which is actually surprising. So if you never have done any YouTube or anything or any video type production, it takes a lot of time. It really does. It's not just something where you piece it together and say, here you go. I put quite a bit of time. I edit the audio, I edit the video, mix it together. So there's quite a bit that goes into it. But yeah, I do a lot of other stuff as well, which is a lot of fun. Is a dash cam illegal? What camera do you use, and do you recommend one? Okay. That's a good question. Dash cams are not illegal. I would just check your state's local laws, though, because certain recording can be either one party or two party, depending on what it is. And there's ways around that too. So basically, if you get a sticker that says like video recording is happening, it's basically for your safety. So people are coming in your vehicle, insurance purposes, legal purposes if you need it, giving your case against a passenger who might claim something that's false. It definitely comes in handy. I recommend one for every single driver, every single person on the road, not necessarily doing rideshare, but every single person on the road. I recommend having it, just because at least facing outward. I have the dual dash camera, so it gets outside and inside. That's why I can do the bad driving caught on camera videos, because there's a lot of idiots on the road. And that's actually kind of a fun little thing to do. But yeah, I do it on the inside too. And I also have stickers that say, I think it says like warning, audio and video being recorded, consent given upon entering. So I don't need to have that sticker because New York State is a one-party state, recording state. So I'm recording, I'm the one party. But yeah, check your local laws just to make sure. If you have any questions, also call your local police department. They'll definitely be able to let you know, or talk to a lawyer that you might, somebody you know, regarding that type of law. They'll be able to give you a lot more information and let you know for sure. Also, when it comes to videos, I also have a release form that I have people fill out. I still censor their faces and information. Some people not necessarily, it just depends. But yeah, you got to know. And no, dash cams aren't illegal. They're actually one of the best things out there, and they should be in every single vehicle that's sold. Unfortunately, they're not, but they definitely can help you when it comes to insurance. They can definitely help you when it comes to anything inside your vehicle as well, especially when you're a rideshare driver. What camera do I use? So I use actually two cameras. I use probably one of the more expensive ones, and I also use probably one of the most cheap ones. And they both work good. Obviously, the one that works, or the more expensive one, I love, and I recommend that one completely. The link is always in the description below. So if you want your own dash camera, what I use is the Vantrue N2, I think it is. It's a couple months that I got it, so I don't remember. But like I said, the link's in the description. It's a Vantrue N2 dual dash camera for interior and exterior use with IR. It has a whole different host of options and things. But yeah, it's definitely a fantastic camera. I mean, you can see the quality footage. And then I also have another camera that's in that, and it's actually a little spy camera that I got on Amazon. I think it was like $34 or something. So it's like the little cube that's about I think it's 1 square inch all around, or one cubic inch, I'm sorry. So 1 cubic inch, but it's got the IR, so it's definitely great for night, especially when I'm driving at night. And the only thing is, the video footage on that's not the best. And I've noticed some heat signature issues, like when it runs for an X amount of time. You also got to reset it a lot. So it's definitely got its drawbacks, but I mean, you can go as low as like $35 up to much higher. So I kind of have both, and I definitely recommend the Vantrue. Like I said, links in the description below if you want to check it out on Amazon, or if you want to get your own. But I highly recommend that, or at least I highly recommend having one in your car, no matter what you do. All right, so when a passenger asks me to go through the drive-through, it's always a really long time. I've had a few times where it was quick, but not really. What do you recommend? That's rough, and it depends on the time. First of all, you can kind of tell by the restaurant that you're going to, if it's going to be a long wait or not within the drive-through. Normally, if it's earlier in the day or earlier in the night, where the dining room's still open, I'll pull in and say it's going to be a lot quicker for you to go in versus not go in and go through the drive-through, which that's usually the case. But if there's not too many people in line, or if you're going to a restaurant that isn't that long of a wait, no matter how long or how many cars there are, that's definitely something you can check out. What I recommend doing is, kind of see what it's like, where the restaurant is. Now, if it's after hours in the dining room and drive-through only, you're kind of stuck doing the drive-through only. You can't get out of that. Even so, you can't. So that you're just going to kind of have to go through and do. But when it comes to when the dining room's open, if there's multiple cars in there, that's going to take a little bit of time. Let the passenger know. Say, hey, I've been doing this for a little bit. It's going to be a lot quicker for you to go in, get the food versus going out. So try that. Let me know how that works for you. All right. What do you say when some passengers try to fit more than the 4 people allowed? This happens too often to me. I would tell them, guess what? I tell them 2 things, actually. I say, 1, I can't take more than 4 people in the vehicle because my car is also only 4 seats available. I don't have the third row in the back for 7 passengers or 6 passengers. So you flat out tell them, say, look, you need either you got to cancel the ride and get the large vehicle, or I'll wait for you to get the next to order another vehicle to come because you can't put more than 4 passengers in. It's kind of a passenger scam to try and get the lower price, which when you really look at it, it's like $2 or $3 more. It's not that much more. So it's safety. It's a safety issue for sure. It's an insurance liability. If you are doing that and get into an accident, there's a huge liability where you might actually have to pay, and the insurance company can say, hey, we're not going to pay. Also, if you get pulled over, you're going to get ticketed. There's a lot of things. So honestly, you know what? Don't do it. Tell them, hey, look, I can't do it. All right, next question. Do you drive only at night? Yes. No, that's not true. I drive mostly at night. For a lot of the reasons that I do a lot of things during the day. So it's much easier for me at night to do it. Also, more stories and more things happen at night versus during the day, just because you get a lot of different things happening. Now, and that's with more of the crazy stories. But as you notice, I also do like to put a lot of different things with conversations with people that are just intriguing and interesting to me. That can happen at any time. But yes, I do mostly drive at night. I have driven during the day. It really just depends on when your schedule allows you to, or if you're doing it full time, you just do it when you like doing it. But yeah, I definitely do it at night. I enjoy it at night. So I mostly do it at night. Also, I don't like traffic, believe it or not. And I lived in Charlotte, which has horrible, horrible traffic. I live, being in New York City, horrible, horrible traffic. Buffalo, not so bad, but during the day it can get really bad. So yeah, that's just a couple of reasons why I like driving at night. Where are we? All right. I keep seeing up to 30 per hour, but average 10 to 15 per hour. Can I make more? Okay, so I'm assuming that, yes, you keep seeing as a driver make $30 an hour. And it looks like you're averaging $10 to $15 an hour. Yeah, you can make more. The question is, where are you doing it? Are you in like a more suburban area? Are you in a smaller town? Where are you? Are you in a city? It really depends on where you are. Yeah, that's what I'm going to say. I'll make 10 to 15 an hour, a couple hours maybe here or there. but I average probably around 20, 22 an hour. And that's the majority of it. I have made upwards of for 30, 40, 50 an hour. And I think the highest I made per hour was $104 or something, but that was because prime time pricing or surge pricing. I forget which company it was, but and it was a little bit longer of a ride. So it was like almost $100 just for that ride, which was pretty cool. And then, well, that included tip as well. So that was like the total ride. But yeah, if you're making 10 to 15 an hour, where are you driving? Do you only drive in an area that's lower? Go to a different area. That's really all I can tell you. I had a friend who drove into Chicago from Aurora, Illinois, and she did that for a little while. Because she was making more money driving in Chicago than Aurora. And Aurora is probably a good 30, 45 minutes away, depending on traffic. So I would definitely look into that where you are, if you're going on at certain times as well, too. That's another thing. So it just depends. What do you recommend for better tips? Tips can be tricky. But I'll tell you what, a good smile, saying hello, using their name is really a good thing. Also, making it personal definitely is the way to go. So, you know what their name is when they're getting in. Sure, they can have a different name, and if they do, just ask them what their name is. But a smile, a hello, so-and-so, person A, how are you doing? That can go a long way. Especially if they're having a bad day up to that point, it usually helps them. But when it comes to tips, there's a lot of different things you can do, and you're not guaranteed anything either. I am going to have a video that's coming out about tips and helping to get more tips. So we'll definitely discuss a lot of things in that, how to get better tips, how to get tips more frequently, and be able to go from there. All right, sorry about that. My battery just died on the camera, so I had to plug it in. I didn't realize it was that low already. So let's get back to the questions. All right. Tips. This one. Has anyone thrown up in your vehicle? Yes. Twice. It was the grossest experience both times, and it was amazing because, well, not that part, but what was great about was that I went all the way up until this past September when it happened. And then the week, it was a Thursday, the first time it happened. Exactly a week later, on the following Thursday, it happened again. And it's disgusting. The cleaning fee takes, it's good that they have a cleaning fee there, which is $150. And let me tell you how to do that real quick if you aren't sure. Make sure if somebody throws up in your car, makes a mess in your car, does anything to your car, you have to note it right away. So take pictures of it. Get hold of the company that you drive for, submit it to them. Make sure that the date and time and all that's set on your camera to make sure. If there's any issues or anything, they'll just send you an email to get it back. But take pictures immediately, and then I recommend go to the closest gas station, vacuum, put in your credit card, and vacuum the hell out of your car, at least where that is. I also carry fabrics cleaner, upholstery cleaner in my car now for that specific reason, because you don't want it to set. You can get it before it sets in. And then my buddy, he has a detail shop, so Guess what, Sean? I get to call you. But yeah, no, it's definitely not a fun thing to take care of, to even attempt to. And also, just so you know, when it does happen, you claim it, you're not able to drive the rest of the night for that company. So even if you do clean it up, you're done for the night or the day. So you'll have either, if you're driving for a different company, you can go on that one. But yeah, it's not fun. It's not fun at all. It was disgusting. One thing I definitely recommend, those throw up bag, the puke bags, you can get like a 50 count on Amazon for like under $10. So I would definitely, I do definitely recommend having a couple in the back seat in case that happens. Any passengers watching this as well too, use that, or tell your driver, pull over to the side of the road, because they will. They don't want to clean it up. They don't want to deal with it. And, it's going to save you a headache. So definitely pull over to the side of the road if you need to. Do your business outside and feel better. So, yeah, it's not fun. It's disgusting. All right. What equipment do you use? I don't know what you're talking about, that. I mean, do you mean like this equipment that I'm using? Do you mean in my vehicle? If you're talking about the dash cameras, like I said, it's the Vantrue N2 dual dash cam. I also use a mini spy cam with IR, which has the 9 IR LEDs on it. If that's what you're talking about. If you're talking about this equipment, I can tell you what it is. You just got to get hold of me and let me know what you're talking about. I can definitely let you know. You used to shoot the videos in the car and now somewhere else. How come? Dude, I live in Buffalo. It's cold out. So sometimes when you're shooting the intro or outro or just doing an entire video in the car, no matter how hot you have it, I have to shut the car off, because otherwise the heat that can play havoc within the audio. So it'll make background noise. So I definitely don't like having that on. So I have to shut my car off in order to do that. So maybe when it gets warmer out, I'll do that again. But I have my own studio. So welcome to Studio Underground. This is where I do quite a few things, including these videos, intros and outros to the videos. And this is where we're shooting our podcast. So we definitely have this. So it's good to have. But yeah, just staying in the car during the winter is not the smartest thing to do. Same thing within the heat of the summer. It just gets too hot in the car too quick. So even if you're in there for just a few minutes, it can heat up pretty quick. So that's why you always see, if you leave babies in vehicles or dogs in vehicles, you're going to get a window broken and probably go to jail. So don't do that, because of those issues. So no, I don't do the car inside the vehicle right now. Maybe in the spring and the fall, I'll do it when it's comfortable. I did actually just do the video yesterday, that, we talked about a quick update. That was in the car because it was actually 50 degrees out, so it was actually pretty nice. We've had a pretty decent winter so far, but it's much easier to do it in here. So, do you enjoy my like looking in the vehicle or something, or what? I don't know. Oh, that one. That's why I started. It's actually this one's gonna be the last question. All right. So, going on to the next one. What do you think about driverless cars, and will they take over in the next 5 years? Driverless vehicles have a long way to go. They definitely have a long way to go. So I'm going to answer the second part first, I guess. Will they take over in the next 5 years? No, they definitely won't. I know, they were talking about doing driverless vehicles, autonomous vehicles in 2003, 2004, when they had the DARPA award. And they've gotten better, but they haven't gotten too much better. I mean, they definitely put them out on the roads to test them. I mean, that's really the only way you can. Until you have the 5G network, which will be much more capable than what the 4G LTE networks are, because you're going to have a lot of intercommunication between vehicles. Until you can get that to a point where it's going to be strong so cars can talk to each other on what's going to happen, especially at intersections, and just on the road coming on, highways much different, but yeah, definitely on the road itself. There's going to be a lot more testing, and they're going to be under a lot more scrutiny because of what's happened with vehicles. There's going to be a lot of things that need to take place first, just for safety. Also, I think that it's going to take a longer time to kind of integrate with people, only because of the fact that a lot of people are not going to be safe or feel safe behind these vehicles yet. It's going to take time, and I think Tesla's actually probably doing it the best way, and integrating it. So they have they got their Teslas that can drive themselves on the highway, so you can kind of put it on autopilot mode, where it'll change lanes for you. It'll keep the speed you need, or the speed you want, changing lanes in between vehicles. It'll slow down when it needs to slow down, and it'll actually get off the highway at the correct spot, and then it'll tell you to take over and drive on the road itself. So I think with minor integrations like that on vehicles, you're going to have that. But also you have a lot of people who drive older vehicles. You have a lot of people who drive vehicles that are not equipped with this. So it's definitely going to take a long time to actually get going and get off the ground. So the 5-year period that a few companies that you see talk about, they're probably pushing the envelope quite hard. I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon, at least with that. Now, when it comes to driverless cars for rideshare, or integrating it in, you might see that within 5 years, but I don't think it's going to take over. I think you're going to have the option where it's going to say, where you got like an Uber X, Uber XL, Uber Pool, the different options. I think you're going to see that over anything else. Same thing. You're probably going to see Uber driverless, and it'll have probably a lower price than what the car is with a driver in it. But I do think that you're going to have drivered vehicles for quite a while, at least until integration is done. So maybe I would push the envelope to about 10 years from now. Like I said, DARPA was a project I know of that major schools were working on, universities and that, like RIT, MIT, places like that. They were doing like in 03, 04, they were working on a DARPA for autonomous vehicles. And it's 2019 now. So that's been quite a few years that's happened, and there's been more integration, but not a lot. What do I say? You want to talk about what the landscape is in the next generation of vehicles? I can definitely talk about that, and I'll touch upon that right now. I think Uber and Lyft and other rideshare platforms are going to change car ownership completely. I think the only people who will own vehicles will be those who it outweighs the cost to use rideshare versus ownership, because right now some people are ditching keys and just using rideshare platforms solely to get around to and from work, to and from places of entertainment, a whole different type of things to do. So I think that's going to be much more happening sooner than later, where you're going to see a lot of people giving up the car keys and their own vehicles, and using driving platforms like Uber, Lyft, and many others, actually probably a little bit sooner than later. It's like people using Netflix and people using Amazon Prime and other things, other streaming services versus cable companies now. They're getting away from that and they're cutting the cord. So I think that's going to kind of go to the next step. So I think there's going to be a big shift for more drivers on the road to do that and handle people giving up their vehicles. And I do think that's going to be probably the next thing. And if any rideshare company was smart, and especially in marketing, that would be the way they'd go. And, talking about cutting the keys and putting that out there, cutting the keys, cutting the cost of a car, and then talking about the ownership aspect versus using their service, I think can have a major impact on a lot of people giving up their vehicles. So that's where I see it first, and then maybe the integration of driverless vehicles coming in, because those people don't have vehicles anymore. Now maybe they're using driverless vehicles, and that's kind of how I see a shift happening. But I don't see it happening overnight. I don't see it happening in 5 years. It might be a little more than what it is now, but again, like I say, I don't see that really happening for a little while. So I think rideshare drivers were safe for a little bit, but and we're probably going to be needing more. So we're probably going to make more money during that time, and then once it starts eclipsing where there's more driverless vehicles to drivered vehicles, then I think you're going to start seeing a difference. So the new gig will be something completely new. So we'll see what that is. Why did you start a YouTube channel? How can I start my own? All right. Email me and I'll talk to you about that. Because there's a lot of cool things that you need to know about YouTube beforehand. I started a YouTube channel actually because I wanted to start a YouTube channel for a while. I just didn't know what I kind of wanted to do it on. So it took me a little time to kind of figure that out. And the opportunity kind of presented itself because everybody in my car, when they get in, they'd ask, the same few questions. Is this all you do? Meaning rideshare. Do you do anything else? Which kind of went hand in hand. Do you enjoy doing this? And you got some crazy stories. So people wanted to know, people wanted to hear, and it's kind of how it came about. It's evolved into kind of what it is now. And I do have an evolution, a picture, what I want it to go into in the future as well, too. So there's going to be some changes in addition to. So it's definitely going to be a cool thing. I enjoy doing it. It's a fun little passion of mine. My other passion is travel, and that's why I rep a travel club. So yeah, doing the YouTube channel is fun. It does take a lot of time though with editing. I'm also not somebody who's usually in front of the camera. So for me, it's definitely been a learning curve. I kind of had to get out of my little comfort zone and build a new comfort zone behind or being in front of a camera. So it's different, but it's not. So it's cool. But yeah, why did I start it? Actually, I started for a few reasons too. Like I have a mission statement for it, and once I get my whole website up and running, not just part of it, once I get the whole website up, I'll have my mission statement on there. And the mission statement really is it's to help educate and advocate against drinking and driving, and using rideshare platforms, using taxi cabs, using friends, family, or a designated driver, and to completely stop drinking and driving. And it is very possible. And I do see a lot more people using rideshare platforms for going out if they're going to be drinking and driving. And I think that's a fantastic, fantastic thing. Also, for entertainment purposes, because people have asked about it. And also the other thing, for education, for anybody who has questions about rideshare, on a passenger side, on a driver's side, companies aren't necessarily transparent when it comes to certain things. So I kind of want to take the information I can get and feed it out to you guys, so everybody's kind of updated on the same page of things. So it's a great platform to get news out, and just a great way and a lot of fun, and you get to connect with other people. So it's really cool that way. So I definitely want to say hi to everybody out there watching. Thanks for watching. If you definitely enjoy this stuff, subscribe, keep it going, share it with your friends, and let's have some more fun. So that's that. And then how can you start your own? Email me and I'll give you a bunch of different tips on top of that. Just because there's a lot to doing a YouTube channel, because I'm the only person who does it too. So I do everything on this channel. I hope to be able to bring somebody on soon to help me out with it. But until that point, I'm just doing it as much as I can. So, can you do a behind the scenes video on making a video? Sure, I can. Ain't gonna be now. No, let me get a few things. I just implemented a few new things within the car, within my vehicle, and I kind of want to see how it is taken with passengers. And then yeah, so let me do that. I'll probably try to do that maybe within the next month or so, do a behind the scenes video. That's a pretty cool idea. I do like that. I'll go out through I can go through everything with you. Yeah, I can definitely do that. How many hours per week do you drive? It varies. On average, I don't know, 20 hours a week, maybe, that I'm online. Maybe 20 hours, maybe a little bit more. I'm not sure. I really don't pay attention to that. I kind of just go out when I go out. But yeah, I don't really pay attention. Maybe 20, 25 hours. So yeah, and it's fun. I enjoy it. I can't complain. I can complain, but there's other things. What did my computer do? Sorry, my computer beeped at me. Not important. You seem standoff in the videos when you're in the car with people. Why is that? Wow, thanks. You know what? I actually noticed that. I definitely like interacting with people. And the reason is I'm very focused on the road. I like to make sure people are safe. I'm always eyes on the road type thing, always aware of my surroundings. So that actually, I'm always focused on that. That's my first priority. And second priority is actually like talking with the passengers or things along that. So yeah, I'm definitely focused on the road more so than anything else. So if that comes off a little standoffish, it's not. I actually have a lot of good reviews from people who say that they enjoyed the time with me. So that's always a great thing to hear. But like I say, my main concern and my main priority is getting somebody from point A to point B safe, without an issue. So that's me focusing on the road versus, being in the vehicle. I want to be looking outside versus in. So, yeah. But no, it's not standoff. How do you get your info? A little more question than that. But I get my info through emails, from other YouTube channels, and, driver forums. So those are the three main ways I get my information, as well as firsthand experience. That's definitely one thing too, but that's trial and error on things. But when it comes to specific information, maybe like what Lyft just did with their updates to like their passenger rating, how they rate, their driver rating and how they rate their drivers. Though there's been some updates there within the last month. That type of stuff. You get the information through emails. You really got to pay attention to the emails. when they come in. Don't just overlook them, because they do have certain information that you probably want to pay attention to. Also, the driver forums is a great way to get information. And then YouTube, YouTube's a great way as well. I watch a few different YouTube channels to get their insights, to get their ideas and their thoughts. I compare it with my own, and I'm able to put out information as well too. So anytime you guys want some videos on a certain topic or on a certain thing, just drop it in the comments or email me. We can definitely get a video that'll pertain to that. So like I say, when it comes to other driving platforms besides Uber and Lyft, I just got to do the research on that first, but I'll definitely be putting a video out on that. Same thing with like the behind the scenes video and the other stuff. So I definitely got to note all that. People asking stuff or people wanting to know stuff, and can make whole videos on that too. So you just let me know and I can post it that way for you guys. Do you think drivers are going to get better benefits driving for Lyft this year? Yeah, I think any company you work for, they're going to improve. They're going to keep improving over and over. If they don't improve, drivers are going to simply say, hey, I'm not going to drive on that platform anymore. And, people are going to be searching for rides and have to jump ship to the other one, or the different platforms. So, I think it's always going to get better. If a company operates at its worst currently, that's actually a good thing, meaning that they're always improving themselves. You want to be better than you were yesterday, but worse than you are tomorrow. So you definitely want to do that. So I think with the benefits for driving are going to be pretty good this coming year. So if you're not a driver and if you've been thinking about it, check out a couple of videos I've had previously, and definitely enroll and sign up, because it's a really cool thing. You're probably going to make a lot more money this year, and there's other cool things to do as well too. So it's a really great platform, and not just Lyft. Uber is going to be the same way. Other driving platforms, I'm sure, are probably going to be following suit, because when one makes an improvement, the other one's not going to be too far away, only because if they do make a great improvement that really resonates with drivers and pulls them towards that, the other company is going to lose out on driving time. So they're really going to kind of compete to make things better for the driver, for the passenger as well. So I definitely see that happening. Absolutely. Have you ever gotten into a fight with a passenger? No, no, I haven't. I've seen where a couple of passengers have hit each other, two times actually, both because they were drunk. I've never gotten into a fight with a passenger. Even into like an argument. I think some passengers I absolutely don't agree with their views, or with their thought process, but I'm not going to be rude or nasty. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion, their own thoughts. And so, that has irked me and I guess made me upset. But again, I don't condone that, or I don't condone. I don't give off that. I will still have a conversation with somebody, even though I don't agree with them, and that's fine. But no, I've never gotten into a fight with a passenger. Is there more ways to make money while driving? Yes, there is. There's a lot of ways to make money while driving besides just driving for Uber or Lyft, or any other platform. And I will be doing a video on that as well. There's different apps that you can use that will actually make money. There's many different things that you can do to add to your income while being a rideshare driver. So those are the questions. I did save one for the last, and there's a reason why. So somebody wrote, I have some stories from driving. How can I send them? Yes, you can send them, and I definitely would love to hear anybody's driving stories. whether you're a passenger who had a crazy time in a vehicle with their driver, with other passengers in the vehicle, whatever happened, or if you're a driver, you probably have a lot of stories. I would love to hear them. I would love for you to send them my way. You can record them. You can record them on your phone. Easiest way to do it is record it landscape way, this way, versus this way, only because otherwise you won't have the black bars on the side. But if you shoot it this way, that's great. But yeah, I would definitely love to have any videos you guys want to send me. Send them. First, email me, let me know, get in contact with me, and then send them either via like Google Drive or Dropbox. You can just use my email address for like Dropbox. But yeah, just email me first. Let me know that you're going to send something, and then we will be able to go from there. Also, if you use Google Drive and you want to share the file with me, then just do that. But yeah, like I say, if you're a passenger who had a crazy rideshare experience, or if you're a driver who's had a crazy rideshare experience, or several, send them my way. And even if you have in-dash camera footage, you could send it my way too. And yeah, that would be fantastic. I'd love to have those videos on as well. Just because I think seeing what I see is one thing. You can see a lot of crazy stuff. You can see a lot of fun conversations that I've had with people, and then also eavesdropping. You're in close quarters, so hearing between what passengers have to say to each other or things along that nature. It's definitely unique. It's a lot of stuff you can hear, especially at night. You get alcohol involved, and you have a whole different ball of fun. But yeah, definitely send your stories my way. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. It's definitely a lot of fun. So with that being said, those are all the questions today that I got through. Anytime you do have more questions, comment below with any questions you might have. Email me anything you want. If you have an idea where you want to see some more information about us within a video, send it my way as well too. That being said, I'm gonna end tonight's video. Well, I'm shooting it tonight on Friday night, but it's all gonna be posted Saturday afternoon because I still got to edit a couple of things and then encode it and upload it. So that's gonna be it for today's video. But if you enjoy this content, if you enjoy watching some crazy things happen and unfold, getting some cool education, a lot of different things, make sure you subscribe, ring the bell for notifications, because you're going to see some really fun stuff. I do have a couple of good videos coming up very soon. One of them, actually, I was very hesitant on posting it. The video that I had was probably one of the craziest videos, or one of the craziest things that's ever happened within rideshare that I've done. And I am going to post it. It's going to be heavily censored because there was a lot of swearing in that. And I'm definitely going to give you the context of what happened during that ride, because it's needed for it to make sense and to give you guys the information. But yeah, I am going to post that video. I do have a lot of cool other videos that are coming. I'd love to have your videos on as well too. So anything you guys have, send it my way. Let me know, and we'll get you guys on there too. But yeah, make sure you subscribe, ring the bell for notifications for all the upcoming videos. Also, I'd love it if you guys could share this with your friends, your family, give them some good laughs, all that good stuff. Also, give a thumbs up if you enjoy these videos. Lets me know that you enjoy them, so I can do more content like that. Comment below also. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say on any video. I try to respond to as much as I can. I do have a lot going on with things, but I do try to respond. If it gets to a certain point, though, where there's too much coming in, then I got to kind of pick and choose. But yeah, I would definitely love to expand this channel much more, where it includes all you guys too. So you guys have a great day. I hope this answered quite a few of your questions. Again, any more, let me know, and I'll see you next time.
Still watching? That's all right. This video might be over, but the fun doesn't have to be. Video up top, if you click that, that'll take you to the last video that we just did. And the video down below is what YouTube thinks you should watch. If you're not a subscriber yet, make sure you hit the subscribe button right over here. And we'll see you next time.